Last week we got a demo from I think it was a refresh of Lombiq tutorials. And then we discussed amazing topics. But I don't remember which one. A few. Today, it reminds me something. 1 second. So first, find out Dave, and then
hello.
5 seconds. Okay. So today, where is my mouse? Here. 85,000. Pretty sure we will have demos. I'm pretty sure Sarah will have
Yeah, I have a the Lombiq Vue.js is migrated to Vue 3. And also JavaScript module support, but we'll get into that later.
So you are doing a demo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Victoria.
Yes.
Topics?
Yes, about orchard harvest. I closed the questionnaire, so I wanted to talk about that one.
Okay, thank you. Who else has something to say? Like Lombiq 2, the rest of the world 0.
Yeah, and I have an announcement about .nest.
Lombiq 3, the rest of the world 0.
Hey, this is beautiful. What do you mean? You complaining?
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
No, I want like diversity, not just Lombiq, like it's Lombiq. I want more voices. I don't even remember what Gabor said. About what?
About .nest.
.nest. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's start with the details. What do we have in order one? 27. I will click here. And then this one. Using content items, ContentManager for lazy filling instead of injected one. This is something that we've seen already by the past. Yeah, some scopes get released, and this lazy fill here uses a scope that is not available. So it says, oh, let's use the content manager from the content item you just gave us instead of doing a lambda that will capture this property and then it won't be available later. So that's better. When chaining tokens, if nothing was selected in a CPF, evaluation will log. So null check. It's better. Corrections on media resizing process. Something with the cache, with vector graphics also. Fixing stuff. It's better. So we trust them. And Benedict projections, consolidating migration update steps to create. Okay, yeah, that's not something you can do. So if you come up with lots of updates during migration, instead of just calling these updates to go to the last number, which is 6 in this case, you can also consolidate all the changes applied in the updates and put them in the create task and return 6 directly. like this. And this way we won't have to run, oh, let's go up, and remove that and add that and remove that and add that. No, let's do it correctly on the create task. It's better. So ideally, anytime there is a new update added to migration, there should be a change to the create method for those who start fresh. Good. What should go? 27. This one. Reduce constructor injections. Oh, I remember. So Mike means that instead of injecting these ones all the time on all the actions of this controller, we could just inject some of them when they are actually required for only the actions that are actually required these services. This way we don't have to resolve everything every time just because one action needs something. Also because this controller has lots of actions. And here, not the same thing here. Nope. Just formatting. And this one, not injecting iUpdate model accessor, but making this controller implement iUpdate model instead. I believe this is something we have in our subcore already because we do it. Oh no, okay. So this is an interface we define, but we don't implement it because it's just that the controllers have these methods. And this way, this is a construct that the drivers might need an update model. And the controller is something that implements whatever is required by a driver. So we just have to implement that. And then the driver.
Is there a reason why we don't do the same thing for all the controllers that needs that? Like, why do we need to keep injecting it where we can just implement it like that?
There is no reason. So if you look at the implementation of that thing,
it's doing the same thing.
It says iUpdate, and the implementation is somewhere. Oh, I bet it's called default model updater. Right.
Controller model updater.
Okay, so I know. iUpdate model. I know accessor. Okay. Local model binder accessor. And what it does is grab one.
It looks like we have some sort of middleware that registers it.
Local
the context.
binder accessor. Object key title. What is key? Oh, we register. I see. So we set it using the key. This is like the admin thing, and then we get it. So where do we inject that? iUpdate model accessor. Dot Set model operator equals browser tree. Okay, we have a filter when an action is executed. We will assign this thing to the current controller by grabbing the controller of the action, and same thing for the result pages. So yeah, okay, that's how it's done. It's like an ambient object where we assign the controller by intercepting it, such that we can resolve it and we know what is the current controller or the current page that is used. Would be interesting to see if we can also add the iUpdate model interface to a Razor page, how it's done. But yes, though there is no drawback by doing iUpdate model on all the controllers instead of injecting that iUpdate model accessor inside the controller. The only thing might be that this thing will just work everywhere. So it works also in controllers.
Yeah, but like a lot of times I see in the controller, you know, people inject iUpdate model accessor in the controller. So it's just another thing they inject in the
That's what
constructor. So
this
yeah,
way
we can just remove it.
It's consistent, like you do the same thing everywhere. You don't have to know that, oh, a controller is an iUpdate model, so I can inject myself if I implement that. It's doing the same thing in the end, but yeah, it's up to you. Okay. And someone will say, oh, can we just inject iUpdate model accessor instead of implementing iUpdate model? Same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if we don't need to inject another object just so we can resolve it,
and if you
why
don't need to implement an interface, just
like in the controller, I mean, like if at the controller level, if we don't have to inject another object, then I think it's better. Right? Because
sure, it's less things to do for sure.
Yeah. It's very minor, but you know.
I won't remember how it worked. So it's interesting. Maybe not should call. Oh boy. I don't know that. What was the name before? Not sure. Interesting. Good. Okay, so reduce constructor injection. Update Serilog.AspNetCore version. Smtp namespace. HashCode.Combine. Instead of building our own hashcode, let's use what is available in the framework. Add WithPart and WithSettings. Builder methods. WithPart and an action on the content type part definition builder. Oh, is a strong type instead of a typo or a name. Okay. But the same thing here. So we don't have to provide a name. Okay, by default, it will be the name of the part. Okay. Why don't you use it anywhere? That's great. I would have expected when you create a new thing like this, you'd use it. Update. Cache the string parameter to media affiliates in its media library. Cache the string parameter. Validation provider. I need to look at later. It's scary to change this thing. It's not easy. Okay, we'll see the PR later. Update AngleSharp AngleInfoConverter. LoginInfoConverter. Oh yeah. It's a test. Wow. User core and configure JSON serializer options. Add a new converter, login info JSON converter for the type user login info. The idea is that this converter really know how to read and write JSON for this class. There was an issue with the deployment. The class user login info could not be deserialized automatically by system text JSON. And I filed an issue on AspNetCore. The issue, it can't initialize it because in ASP.NET Core, the property provider display name doesn't match the name of the argument here in the constructor. So system.JSON, when it tries to deserialize this instance, doesn't know how to call the constructor because the properties it has in the JSON, which is this name, doesn't match anything from the controller. So it needs to be the same name as the property such that system.JSON can deserialize it. And as a mitigation, to build custom converter that will say when you have this property, you set this property. So it's using the setter here. So it's initializing it with empty, 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 and then assigning the properties. Personally, I would have loaded each of the properties and then call the constructor with these values. You never know, but because we have a setter, apparently explicitly you can do that. And then to store just each of the properties. So that is very fine. But ideally, ASP.NET will not have such issues. And there is a test. So many tests. Good. Good work. There might be other things that we'll discover when using 1.9 that are not compatible with system.JSON by default. But he has found already other issues that we are working on. Check SubResource integrity. The test. Oh. So is it a test that will do actual requests online to ensure that the hash matches what we have in the files? That's interesting. No, that's there is another way to do that. SHA-384 using the custom memory string. So this won't allocate, however. So that's good. I'm just thinking that the new pattern for hashing in .NET is that create an instance. Yep. So string span, then span. It's a static, so you don't need to create an instance anymore because it will be there will be a singleton inside, so you don't need that. So you can just do hash data. Oh, that's another one. That's probably why. Oh, such a long discussion. Then permissions check for audit trail action new content item list. Okay. That's permissions I'm looking for here. And now it's done. There is a permission check. Render when. I had no idea about this one. Probably something that Mike had it. Because
No, I didn't add. It's been there for a while, but it's very useful because you can just, add that logic into the render when, and
so I
if
was
that
wrong.
fails, it won't.
I was wrong, but at least I was right that you like it. Render when. Render when. This one shape result. I made shape result. Did I make render when? Nope. Aha. I wrote everything here. I was like, I don't know this render when. It doesn't sound like something I would have created because yeah, but okay, interesting. Oh, there is a run. Yeah, interesting. Render predicate async. That's cool. That's cool. Mike is the new dean. Okay. Update kit, MimeKit, avoid the ref exception. OpenIddict 530. I'm sure it was updated before OpenIddict was released. All good. Great. Okay, topics. What do we have? Demo. Sarah.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen. Okay.
All good.
Okay. Can you see? Can you see it?
Yes.
Excellent. So first, like I've already shown in the past about the Lombiq.Vue.js module. What it does is lets you use these Vue single files for managing Vue applications. And right now you can see that if you have seen it in the past, it works the same, but underneath it now uses Vue 3. Even though Orchard core still uses Vue 2 canonically, and for that reason, everything that happens here is actually everything here actually uses a module. Oh yes, sorry. So we have module script
Sorry, your
that
Teams is crashing again.
Now it's better. Stop. But I think it's okay. It's just flashes of colors. You can still see it.
what is flashing?
There is a flashes of colors on the bottom left sometimes. Now it's better, but
Well,
like...
that's creepy. Anyway, sorry about my possessed computer. So just what I wanted to say is that so it uses a Vue.js as a JavaScript module, which means that it's entirely localized to this script, and like it doesn't pollute your window with global variables. Just imports the create app, and then with the same script we had before, more or less, what it does is loads the serialized model from the server side, and then displays an application containing the exact model. And from your so that means that for the end user, all they have to do is just use our app tag helper and like give it a name, which is like the file name of the Vue file, that is the main app, and pass in a model, which is just like an object. I believe in this case, it's literally just an object that contains just a string parameter, but that's kind of besides the point. Instead, the point is that this can exist at the same time as Vue2 applications, and that is thanks to a thing that I have actually recently found out that we already have in like stock JavaScript. It's called import map, which means that if you have a script with this type, then you can have names in it and match URLs to it, and then it gets to just import those without any kind of conflicts. And you don't have to like import it ahead of it, so you don't have to do any what is it called? Don't have to worry about the dependency order or like even making dependency trees. So, for example, when you define this module, if I can find it, yeah. You have to tell it the other single file components that exist inside it, but you don't have to tell it about like Vue itself, because like it's something that it gets from that that import map, and this way it all becomes a bit simpler and more reusable. And now, as for the reusability, it's also worth mentioning that this JavaScript module support is actually part of our helpful libraries, so it's not specific to Vue.js, and you can use it to handle any kind of other JavaScript modules. For example, here is a simple sample. Doesn't do much fancy, just like loads in a script and modifies these things, but as it mentions it here, which you can see, that we import this module by name. Oh, yeah, another cool thing about this, that since we don't specify the URL, this can actually be used with a CDN without having to specify it here. And then it's imported here, but here we actually check that it is it in the window object? And it says no. So that's correct because it will not cause conflicts. And then you can either import it here, or so you can just define these individually, and you don't have to like specify the structure between them. So that's much simpler. But if you look at the actual child script, it gets to import it anyway. And this is just very simple sample. Yeah. And how it works is that we have a filter. Okay, probably easier to just find it here. Yeah. So you define the resources, and then you add this resource filter. And what it does is finds all the resources in using the resource manager. And if there are any registered as script modules, then it generates this import map that I have shown, and like just injects them inside the content zone. And where it's precisely injected doesn't really matter, because if you just use regular scripts, you know, that are injected into the foot, then whichever order they are there, it will not cause conflicts, especially because you can actually define these scripts to have the attribute called defer, which means that they will only load, only execute once the whole page is loaded. So you don't even have to do that old-fashioned thing by creating a DOM event on the window and wrapping the whole code inside it. Yeah, I think that's all I had. A bit more abstract, I guess.
Thank you. And while you were talking, I was also looking for articles about modules and how they work, and about this import map.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was learning about modules and import map while you were talking. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can use those in every browser now that are still maintained.
Awesome, thank you. And I will note Vue.js modules import map for next week. Next topic.
Sarah, there is a PR I think Jasmine started about upgrading to Vue 3 in Orchard. You might be interested in contributing into it.
Yeah, I've been eyeing with it, just didn't really have time to look into it yet.
Who's next? Who's next? Victoria, Gabor, Mike? I'm sure there is.
But it'd be Victoria, I guess.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah. It's better than mine. Mine is so boring. Look at that.
I hope this will be more interesting then. Can you see it? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I closed the questionnaire about the Orchard Harvest conference, and I wanted to share some details here as well, and ask you to share your opinion as well. For example, in the third question, we were curious about would you prefer to participate online or in person this year? And you can see that more people are interested in the online conference, but still there is an openness for having an offline conference. And the preferred location, if we exclude the online answers, would be much more in Europe than in North America. So that's changed since last year, because last year we had a lot of answers from North America. And I also asked those who have participated last year to answer. And also, as you can see in the next question, a lot of people said that it's not suitable for them to have a conference in Las Vegas, unfortunately.
I have questions. You go too fast.
Okay.
Question 4. What's special with this question that there are so many answers? Was it like multiple choices?
Yes.
Okay, so I could select all of them. Like I like Hungary, but I also like anywhere else, because I see 14 and 17,
yes.
Which means
Yeah,
31. Okay.
Yeah, you can say that I would like to participate in Hungary, but also in other countries in Europe as well.
That's weird, because it's hard to guess anything from that, because you could select multiple things. Like people could select Hungary and outside of Hungary, and I'm like, what's the point? Or they could select Hungary and Onion 9, and I'm like, so what do you want, Onion 9? Or you prefer Hungary? So it's hard to say. But yeah, yeah. Or if maybe they're fine with North America and anything in Europe, so they would check the first 3. But so yeah, it's a sad question. It's hard to answer.
Yeah, but also there were some people who said they would prefer a location Europe outside of Hungary, and they didn't check Hungary at all.
Oh, you can see the details on your side?
Yeah, there is an Excel table.
Okay, that's
but
great.
Yeah, there is just, it's easier to show this.
So
yeah,
do we know if everyone has a unique answer, what would be their #1 preference?
Well, the question 5 is also interesting. That's why I wanted to comment on that, because the question is, would you be interested in participating in an event in Las Vegas? People say yes, people say no. And then there is, it's not suitable for me, meaning no. So it's 8 plus 11, right?
Yeah.
Because no, and it's not suitable for me is exactly the same thing. I don't see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand your point.
I'm not questioning the possibilities. I'm just trying to understand the result. For me, the result is 9 versus 17 versus 19. So yeah.
Yeah.
So 9 would go to Las Vegas, and among them, people say in person is 6. So 6 plus 6 and 9. So it's around 6 and 9 people would go to Las Vegas. I'm taking 6 out of the question number 3, which is people who say yes, they are fine going in person. Oh, plus
no. So at the 5th question, it's not multiple answers. It's only one.
Okay.
So 9 said that yes, I would go to Las Vegas, and plus 6, not sure yet, but they are open for this possibility.
Okay. And also question 3, which was in person versus online. See, so in person 6 and 14 maybe saying I don't care, maybe but so it's, which means more than 6.
Yes, it's more than 6. So yes, this is why I said that there is an openness for the offline as well. But you know that if somebody say I'm open to both, but maybe they would only participate in Las Vegas or in North America, some only in Hungary. So it's not really easy to decide because it's really wide. The answers are really wide.
That's why you don't provide a choice sometimes. Like, no, you will find all the like, yeah, everyone will want something else. So
Yeah.
like, oh, I prefer blue, I prefer pink, I prefer whatever. This is red. You take it or you don't take it. You know, it's like I tell Mike sometimes, like, people want more settings. And I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll find all the settings in the world. But when you have Microsoft Office Word, the toolbar has a file menu item. You don't ask to change the file menu item into file 2 or whatever, my files. No, that's it. That's what it is. Done. If you don't like it, don't take it or deal with it. So if it's Hungary, come to Hungary or stay home.
Yeah.
You have, sometimes it's good to know, but you have to make a decision for the greater good, and then.
Yes, that's the thing that it's hard for me to decide, because is it better to have an online and then more people would join and participate in time, or would it be better to have a conference, because an offline conference, because the last one was in 2017. Yeah.
But
and
maybe
then,
like in 2017, if we had asked the question about do you prefer it online or in person, people would have said online, but we did one in person and people showed up. But more people would like it to be in person. So we could always record and say, okay, you didn't come, but it's recorded. You can watch it offline after if you want. Question is, so my question, just to finish my point, my point being, if there is enough people to do an on-site, let's do an on-site. We don't care about the rest. If there is not enough people, the fallback is online. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, I think maybe what you, just a suggestion, what you could do is just share 2 locations, right? 2 of the top selected or the most likely locations, and send a questionnaire saying, will you join in person? A or B, you can't have both, either or, right? And then if you get more on one side, then you just do that. Otherwise, online.
Yeah,
that's hard. That's hard, Mike. Because this is same thing with the, what's the name of the vote where you select the first, second, third argument, and then this way we get a common ground on something. Because what you said, Mike, is like, do you prefer to go to Las Vegas or to New York? And then you pick one. And then maybe, 5 people will say Las Vegas and 10 people New York. But maybe if it was in Las Vegas, half of the ones from New York would have been fine to go to Las Vegas, but you asked for their first choice. But maybe the 5 in Las Vegas would have said never to New York. See, so it's not that easy. You see, if I say, for instance, is it, I don't know, what's the, Siberia or Hawaii? And like all the people who say Hawaii will never go to Siberia, but the people in Siberia will be like, oh, but we are fine also to go to Hawaii. See? So I don't know.
It would be a really hard choice.
So hard. Life is hard. How do you make decisions?
No, it's okay. It's okay. My suggestion is that maybe for this year, because I'm pretty sure the budgets have been allocated, or for whatever reason there might be no more budget. My suggestion is that why don't we, for this year, do an online, and for next year, set a date, set a location, and then whether or not 1 or 3 people will go next year, but set it up so that it's everybody has planned it, everybody's budgeted it, and then and everybody will plan to go. But my suggestion is that next year let's go to Las Vegas on maybe in the fall. But for this year, let's just do online. That is my suggestion.
So do you think that we are already late because we are planning this for fall as well?
That's
so
honestly, Lauren, I don't think that's the problem. The problem is not where do we do it and when and where. The question is, do we do it? Because when you have a conference and you expect like 300 people, sure, you can organize wherever you want. You'll be sure that at least 100 people will show up and you can finance the location. If the question is, are we 5 or are we 20? The question is, do we do a conference or do we not do a conference?
Yes.
Because you have to pay for the location, you have to reserve, you have to do everything. So if we say we will do it and then only 5 people show up, then we are screwed because we don't have any money to pay for that. And we have to pay. Who will pay? If we are 20, oh yeah, we can share the conference room cost with the 20 people. But if we are 5, then someone has to complete the 15 missing people. That's the problem right now.
Right. No, I understand that, Sebastian.
And I understand your point, but
yeah, maybe let's plan for next year for say 20 people, and then we'll advertise it now. The first 20 will get slots if you've registered. First 20 get slots. Beyond 20, we're not so sure if we can accommodate you, but at least we get the ball rolling. My only concern is that we just have to start it, Sebastian, because once we start it and we just do it every year, I think it becomes a the snowball effect.
Yeah, no, I agree. This number is hard though, because again, it's like if it's 50 or 100, maybe it's the same for us. But like if we look at all the people who answered the thing, the number of people who answered is 34 or 30, something like that. So should we expect? And I can tell you that among all of these, half of them would never join the conference. It's just they want to answer because you asked them to answer, they will answer. Then, if it's 20 and a conference room costs 5,000, that's the average price of a conference room plus videographer plus all the things you need to prepare for a conference. Let's say 5,000. If there are 20 people or 50 people, it will be 5,000. If there is 20 people for 5,000, it's $250 per person. Any person who doesn't show up, we have to find $250 somewhere else. So I know I'm not good at math. It's 100. It's what $100. No, 20. No, that's true. 20, 25, $250. So that's the idea. That's what's our budget and what's the minimum of people we should get for having the minimum room somewhere. So that's the otherwise we have to cancel, and then people are like, oh, I booked an hotel, I booked a flight, I booked my vacation, and you cancel on me, and then they have lost.
No, you're exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right, Sebastian. Yeah,
that's the position where we are in.
Yeah, but in terms of gut feel, for now, do you think folks will be more amenable to go to North America or to Europe? What do you think is something to start?
Usually it's Europe because Europe is close to everything, right? It's cheaper to go from Paris to Hungary than from Paris to Las Vegas, or from London to Hungary than London to Las Vegas. Maybe I don't know. From Seattle, Las Vegas is $50. I can go every day and be fine. From Europe, wow. Same thing for New York. I mean, if you want to go from Europe to New York, but from Europe to Europe, where most of our users are, it's much cheaper. Like that's why we did it in London at first, before COVID, because most of our trade users were in England and will go to London because all England will go to London very easily. All Europe will go to London very easily. But North America is harder.
Yeah, if that's the case, then maybe for next year, let's plan for Europe then, just so that we can get the most possible attendees.
Yes,
And then
also the questionnaire showed this answer, and I also think that it would be better to have it first in Europe.
So what, you do whatever you want. I'll go with Mike, do one in Las Vegas because it's cheap for me and it's sunny.
Yeah, but yeah, also Mike was a really huge help last year.
Yes, and
well,
that's what also point. We do something where someone is able to help and to organize something. Like when we did it in Alicante, it's because Sergio was there and helped us find the location and deal with people and talk Spanish. And when we did it in London, it's because Danny was there and found the place. So that also matters. It's so hard. Oh boy, Victoria, you do everything. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'll let you handle everything.
Yeah,
it is at the end of the day, it's really tough where you go, because at the end of the day, you know, if you have organized the best experience for everyone, but you know, nobody shows up, what's the point, right? So that's the issue.
Yeah.
But you know, looking at the reason why I thought Vegas will be a good stop, because like all the big companies, the big tech companies, they actually do an event in Las Vegas, not because it's cheaper relatively to other places in the US, because it's a tourist destination. So people will come here not just for the conference, but they're gonna come here for the conference, plus they'll stay here a couple extra days and get, you know, entertaining experience overall. So technically, well, that's really where Las Vegas came from, right? But you know, if we find that we will have a successful event in, you know, in Europe somewhere where a lot of people will show up, then, you know, that's the better choice, you know.
Or maybe let's sync it with a big worldwide Microsoft event. I think there's an Ignite event, Sebastian, right? Maybe
Yeah,
we
but
do
if you don't sync it, I mean, I don't see how easier it is, because you can't do it in the same location because it's booked by Microsoft. Then all the hotels are booked because there is a big event, so it will be harder for everyone to find a thing. And then if you go,
what I meant, Sebastian, was that they can go to Seattle for the Microsoft event or wherever it is in North America, and then after that, they go to Las Vegas, because normally anywhere in the US to Las Vegas is like $50.
Yes, but
$50.
But when you go to a place like this, your company is paying the flight to Seattle, they won't pay there, but then the hotel, I mean, people go to these things because it costs nothing to them. The company is paying. I'm not sure the company will also pay for it. Sure. Then I'm not sure the population is the same. It's the same people who go.
Also, aren't you exhausted from 2 events in the same time?
Yeah.
What? Sorry?
I mean that 2 events back to back, wouldn't that be exhausting for people?
Yeah, a lot of time out of work. That's
yes.
Hard.
I was also thinking about that it would be a lot of time out of work.
We looked at that, Lauren, before, doing at the same time, the same place, like having a room just for Orchard. But the organizer, like, they don't care. They don't have time to deal with you. Like, dude, they have 100 sessions to deal with. Oh, and you have Orchard also. Well, whatever. They don't want to deal with that. They have already enough issues. That would be the best for us, because the location will be. You know, we could use the food from the location. We could use the place from location, the organization, the attendee checking and everything. But yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, but Sebastian, if we decide to do it with a Microsoft event, then maybe, as you said, we just share the food and the whatever there. But then we organize the charge separately. You know, we go to maybe a cheap Days Inn in the suburb of Seattle where we can book the conference room. You know, we do our conference there.
So I have a strategy maybe following what you suggested. Also, by the way, when we did that in Redmond, in Microsoft, it was the most expensive one because of reasons. I thought it would be super cheap. It was the most expensive for organizing. But what what you said about having the ball rolling, let me follow up on your idea, because I think that's something we could do. Let's say that next year we do one conference in a very well-known location, but we just do it for 10 people because we know there will be 10 people. There will be a core of people that will go, and it will be for sure 10 people. And let's organize it for 10 people. And advertise it like it was 1,000 people. But we know there will be 10 people, a budget of 10 people. We won't do much. We will do a simple one. We will record if we can record, but we won't try to think like, we don't know if it's 20 or 50, so let's book for 50, but it will be too expensive. Let's do it for 10 people. If it happens that 30 people register, then we can say, okay, guys, we thought we would be 10, there will be 30. So instead of you taking this conference room, instead of taking this meeting room, we can buy a conference room, so it will be 2 blocks away or 1 kilometer away. So your hotel will be fine, right? And then scale from there. But at least we get the ball rolling, as you said. And then people will say, oh, there was a conference, it went well, maybe I should go next year. And then the year after, we book based on what was the year before, right? And then we get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Sebastian. 10, I think 10 is very doable, I think. But a good goal, yeah.
No, it's like a meeting. It's not a conference, it's a meeting, but still, it's just, as you said, like, if we do never nothing, there will be never something. So if we know we can have a core of 10 people showing up somewhere, let's do it. And then.
Yeah, then the next question becomes where and when.
No, and it won't matter because these 10 people will go anywhere in time. There will be always 10 people to go somewhere. Like we just take Lombiq, 10 people done, right?
If it would be in Hungary, then
sure,
it would be much more than 10 for sure.
Yeah, in fact, Sebastian, just to start the ball rolling, we can do it at the Lombiq headquarters. At least we just fly there, get the hotels, and then I'm pretty sure Sultan can give us a conference room or whatever, right? I mean, but it's easier to organize.
We can do 2 of them very close by, such that the European people who want to go to Lombiq. It's cheap to organize, and there will be a date and a place. If they want to go, they go. Okay. And we could do one in North America for the people who want to go to North America. It will be a small one, but we get the ball rolling also in North America for those who just can't go to North America and can't afford to go to the US. Like if it was
that makes sense too. At least we have one. The best case is we have 2. The worst case we have 1. At least we have 1 starting next year. That's good.
Will be to minimize the cost for everything.
I mean, like the idea is great, but organizing 2, it's like much more work, and it will be even less people at one conference if we separate both. So I'm not sure if it would be really worthy. That's
maybe. But if it's to get something going on, and if the solution is to do one in Lombiq and then let's do one at Lombiq. If you have offices, if you can have a conference room, if it's cheap, whatever.
I don't think that it depends on those who work at Lombiq, because they are not the one who answered the questionnaire, mostly, maybe 1 or 2 of them. I just said it because I think if it would be in Hungary, then most possibly a lot of us would join because it's there and we organize it. But other people have answered that they would join in Europe. So I don't know.
Cheap place, affordable for a small number of people. Just that's what you need, just to get the ball rolling. And same thing in the US. I think if it's done in the US, just think small. If you prefer just one event anywhere, let's do it, but small scale. And we don't care how many people show up. If there are 5, we don't care. We just assume it was 10, so we don't lose much money. If 50 people register, okay, let's change the plans. Same location, but let's find something bigger. And even 2 weeks before, we can find a place bigger, right?
Yeah, but also there are places where, you know, there are a lot of conference rooms, so we can still change it, and that's a really great idea. I think what you are saying.
Most locations will find open things. Like if it's a city, a big enough city, there will always be something to book.
Yeah.
From might be a little more expensive, but if we say okay, there are 50 people, we need something bigger, then we have more money, we can pay something bigger. That's totally fine.
Yes. Yes, we just have to pay attention to deadlines,
there is a deadline, but whatever. So yeah, we can get the ball rolling for a small thing, and then in Mike's kitchen, 5 people in Mike's kitchen, and then if there are more than 5, we go in the garden.
Yeah, so you also agree in that we should try the offline version.
Online? Sorry, offline. In person, yeah.
Yes, in person.
Yeah. Because Larem said we need to get something done. Otherwise, we'll never get something done.
Yes, that's totally true. And maybe next year it will be even a bigger thing. Even more people would want to join.
Right. Remember, the first one was 75. The last one was more than 50. So there are always people, but COVID happened. And people want to do online now. But we need to push something. We need to entice them to do something in person.
Yes, that's totally true. And they can also, those who doesn't want to join still can watch it back. So yeah, the biggest question is to decide on the location.
You will decide. You are good at deciding, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We know we can do that if we have contacts. Yeah, we have Las Vegas there. I can help. We can do Seattle, but I would not suggest that. We can do Seattle. It's fine. I will do Seattle. Like we'll find a location and we can do that, but not just in August because otherwise it's just raining. It's not interesting. We locations like this where we have people. We'll do Montreal with Jasper also. And London, we have people in London, so we just have to say, and people will help us.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you just need to find a place where people might go, not just for Orchard, but maybe they want to enjoy their time. Like if I want to go to Europe, I would likely to go to London, but not Hungary. So also think about it from not not just for Orchard, but I mean, if people are spending money to go, they might go for other reasons as well. So
yeah, I can understand it as well. That's also a really great point.
And the schedule is still good, like you suggested October, something like that. I don't remember, but next.
Yeah.
And that's still good for sunny places like California, Nevada, or Spain. They are still warm enough to go for visiting.
Yes, and there are some people who said that it's possible that they would be interested in sponsorship opportunities as well. So that's quite nice.
T-shirts, things. They can pay 300. Dude, we'll be rich. 10 people at 300. Oh my God.
And then that will be all income for Sebastian. Let him get taxed on it.
I will get taxed for that. We still have 5 grants from the last conference.
Yeah.
For the next budget, so that's good. Okay, awesome. So progress discussion.
Okay.
So we say we'll do something online. We'll do something in person for 2 people, Mike and myself, and anyone else can join.
I'm sure that Zoltan and Benedek will join as well.
Yeah, just too busy. countries and everything. They went to all of them, right? I think so. They went to all of them. Did they? Did they miss any? I'm not sure. They were in Seattle. Were they in New York? I think they were in New York.
I'm sure they were.
They were in Amsterdam. They were in Alicante. Yeah, they were to all of them. Like Antoine. I think Antoine then were the only one who came everywhere. That's great. Okay.
Okay. That's
so Gabor,
fine.
sorry, you
Thank
wanted to say something, but we don't have time, so it will be next week. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. Well, you could say no, it's now. Okay, thanks, Victoria. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Gabor. Thanks, everyone else.
Thank you.
Talk to you on Thursday and next week.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.